Hi everybody and welcome back to the farm. Today's video is all about this beautiful green plant that you see growing on our retaining wall. This is the sweet potato vine. I've learned a few things as I have made this one grow massively this year. So here's my tips and tricks for getting a beautiful growth out of your annual sweet potato vine. These sweet potato vines were planted after April 19th. I think we planted at the end of April, if I'm remembering correct, perhaps the very beginning of May. And in just such a short time, they have already put on this massive amount of growth. That's their natural habit. They are very, very vigorous naturally, but I think I did help that out a little bit because they're also very heavy feeders. I had watered them vigorously every single day after they were planted, and I also fertilized 3 times a week. It was kind of oh, look, a hummingbird moth is on my butterfly bush. When I'm watering very frequently with fertilizer, then I will dilute the formula just a little bit. I kind of took a risk on it this year because I had some suspicions that might work. It worked. Everything is great. It grew vigorously. It did not burn the leaves or anything. But anyhow, in just a short time, these have put on a lot of growth, and I have dealt a little bit with pests. This is a favorite among insects, unfortunately. Slugs, caterpillars, and larvae, anything in its larva form, are the most common pests that I see on these plants, and that's why you're seeing this being eaten up so much. For slugs, there's bait out there. You just sprinkle it and the slugs will come. They consume it, and then they die. And it works really, really well. The only thing is you have to put it out as a preventative measure, and you have to put it out every time it rains because the little pellets can get destroyed by the rain and then they're no longer effective. You could also do like a ring of salt around your plants. I will never salt my garden if I can at all help it, because it obviously some plants are not salt tolerant. Now, for the caterpillars or any of the creepy crawlies with a soft underbelly, diatomaceous earth is your friend. I have a love-hate relationship with diatomaceous earth because it is very effective and it is very safe for us as humans to apply it. There's a few things that just aren't very safe for us to interact with, even if they are organic, but diatomaceous earth is easy to apply, but you have to reapply every single time it rains, and then it doesn't look good on your plants in the meantime. I'm easily distracted by moths and butterflies today. But anyhow, with diatomaceous earth, it just doesn't look good in the meantime while you're using it. I don't want to see white powder on my plants. I'll put up with it on my tomatoes because I'm not growing tomatoes for how they look. But this, obviously, I'm growing it to beautify my yard. And the white diatomaceous earth, it takes away from it. If I'm desperate and that's the only thing that I have on hand, I'm going to use it because it's worth it to give up a couple of days of beauty for the plant to be able to survive. But you can use an insecticidal soap. The insecticidal soap has to make contact with whatever pest you're trying to kill. So when you're applying it, make sure that you're actually applying it with some intention. And then there's things like the 7 granular application that you can put on the ground. It's a bait. They will eat it. There's a lot of, I don't know, negative reviews about using 7 dust, so I'll leave that up to you and your own discretion. But that's how I deal with the pests. Now that these plants are established, I'm not watering them every day. In fact, I haven't watered them maybe in over a week, and I also have slowed down on the fertilizer. Getting them started and getting them established was the most important thing. So early on, watering every day and fertilizing very often was the key, and I love now that I can kind of relax and let them just continue to boom and do their own thing without so much maintenance. Now, interplanting with other plants, I made a mistake and I've learned from it, so let me share it with you. I love my begonias. I think they are just the most perfect annual. They're so easy. You can leave them alone forever and they will survive. But as I back up, you can see where there were some begonias that they are completely overtaken. I need to plant these with an annual that is just every bit as vigorous as the sweet potato vine. And I think that is where Angelonia, right here, look, this stopped growing because it doesn't have any sunlight. That's how quickly this overtook the begonias. So the Angelonia is a great choice because it's even rising up, poking up a little bit, but the Cleome is the clear winner here. That is such a massive, vigorous grower that it's easy to plant that. And obviously planting it far enough away instead of interplanting it was part of the success here. So Next year, I don't think, if I do sweet potato vine again on this hill, I'm going to skip the begonias, even though I love them so much. And I think I'm gonna go cleome, 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 cleome. The other problem is here, I have my perennials in this bed. You know how much I love my phenomenal lavender. Here it is. If the sweet potato vine continues to be very vigorous, it's actually going to block out all the sun from this lavender, and this plant will fail to thrive anymore. So over here, oh, we have a little interloper. Over here, I've got the Sweet Romance lavender put out by Proven Winners. It's a lot less vigorous than phenomenal. It just doesn't do as well in our climate, but it is showing quite a bit of beauty at the moment. So I'm glad I don't have any sweet potatoes over here, because I do want to see my begonias. I want to see them striving for greatness, and there's no competition for resources over here. So I think I've learned about interplanting. Cleome and Angelonia is the way to go. Next year we've got some rose bushes that will be much bigger. I think they're the perfect distance away to not be in competition for water or fertilizer. Maybe not Angelonia. This one is just barely poking its head up. You can just hardly see it. Maybe it just needs to be further back, like not interplanted, but in a row behind it, I guess, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I think it'll be beautiful with the Atlas roses right there. I love these colors together. So that's all. I think I've had some great success with this annual this year. I have grown a lot of sweet potato vines in the past. I love them in pots and I love them in hanging baskets. I've kind of moved away from hanging baskets simply because I can't stay on top of watering them. And I feel like by the time my birthday rolls around in June, they just look done and I don't want to upsize them. So I love sweet potato in the ground even more than I love it in a pot or a container. So that's it. Just stay on top of water in the beginning, give them lots of fertilizer in the beginning, get ahead of pests and lay out some preventative control. Make sure that they get plenty of sun. These are planted straight in red clay. I don't amend my soil. I love my red clay. You're going to hear me say that over and over again on this channel. So those are just the things that I did. And I can't wait to see, like, gosh, come August, how, like, are they going to be hitting the floor? It's going to look like a bride's veil, just dragging the ground. All right, folks, I'll see you later.